Hello everyone, welcome to Minimal Mindful Mama. If you're new here, I'm Katie Mixon and I love to make videos to help busy moms to declutter and simplify their lives so that we can all spend less time cleaning and organizing and more time living the lives that we want to. Oftentimes when we hear the term minimalism, we think of a single guy in an empty studio apartment, and it can be hard to translate that image that we have in our minds over to how that would work parenting or with children involved. Is minimalism with kids even possible? Everyone knows that kids come with so many things from the time that they're a baby and they need all of this gear, and then as they get older and they accumulate things of their own. And sometimes it can feel like, as a mother, part of the job is just being super busy all of the time and running from place to place to place and never having a moment to ourselves. Whether you are completely new to the concept of minimalism, whether you are pursuing a simpler lifestyle, or whether you're a seasoned minimalist, I think that this will be very encouraging, and I'm hoping that it can brighten your day and your month, as well as hopefully offer some helpful tips and encouragement. And we also are going to have some guest speakers, which I am so excited about. I asked some of my minimalist mama friends over on Instagram to answer the question, how has minimalism affected your motherhood? What impact has being a minimalist made on the way that you parent and on your life as a mother? Today, I'm really excited to share with you their answers, as well as to share personally how minimalism has affected my motherhood. Let's go ahead and get started.
You try to remember all the good things that your mama told you. It turns around.
First up, Melissa is going to share how minimalism has actually shifted her perspective on being more mindful on what she brings into her home.
Hey guys, my name is Melissa. I started my minimalist journey about 2.5 to 3 years ago. If I had to answer the question how minimalism has affected motherhood for me, I would say that it's really opened my eyes to being more mindful about what I bring into our household. I used to believe that kids needed all the toys in the world to have fun, and that's really farthest from the truth.
I love how Melissa shared how she is more mindful about what she brings into her home as a minimalist. I think it's amazing how pursuing a simpler lifestyle can change your perspective so drastically. Next up, we have my friend Allie over at EverThrive, and she's going to share a little bit of her story as well.
Hi, I'm Allie Cornish. I'm a minimalist mom. I live out in Fort Collins, Colorado with my husband Josh and my 2 kids, Miles and Wesley. They're both under 4. I have been a minimalist mostly my whole life. It only became stronger when I met Josh and realized that he also wanted to pursue a life with less. And I got diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, which is a type of rheumatoid arthritis where the spine fuses over time. So I needed to concentrate on my health more instead of other things in life so I could be a good mom, and so far so good. I think you have to ask them. We moved from Chicago to Fort Collins, Colorado to pursue a more intentional, slower way of living, and so far so good, I think. Of course, our path is always changing slightly, and our degrees of minimalism, ebbs and flows. But we're finding our way, with the small children. One way minimalism has impacted my mothering is by having less toys and less distractions. Because children don't need all of that stuff. They want to, they need to focus on learning. They need to focus on learning who they are and learning their place in the world, and not to be forced to choose between a gazillion toys that are all over the floor. So that's been helpful. If you want to hear more about my story, you can find me at EverThrive on Instagram. Okay, bye.
Similarly to what Melissa shared, I love how Allie shares how having less stuff is actually better for our children as well. Think about how overwhelmed you feel when you are surrounded by clutter and messes everywhere. Our children are learning about the world around them and learning to regulate their brains and their emotions. And too many toys is simply overwhelming for them as well. As we pursue simpler lifestyles, it's not only benefiting us as mothers, but it's affecting our entire family, and our kids are happier and more able to learn as a result.
Hey, I'm Christy from Mindful Dwelling, and I'm here to say how minimalism has affected motherhood for me. And that comes down to two things: time and worry. When it comes to having kids, we already know so much of our time is taken up and so much of our mental energy, we just worry about regular everyday things. So if we fill our schedules with extra things to do, or we fill our homes with more things to take care of, that takes more of our time and it takes more of our mental energy and more things to worry about. But if we don't have all those things, then we can just take the time we need to take care of our children, and we're still going to have those general everyday worries when it comes to being a mother. But we don't have that extra stuff to worry about to take up that energy and take up that mental space and take up that physical space. So my tip for motherhood and minimalism is say no to the extra. Start with the basic of what you need for every day, and then add on what might be fun or things that you like to have in your house. But know your limit. Know at what point that it's going to burn you out, so you don't have so much to take care of and you can focus on what is truly good.
As mothers, we have limited mental energy. I love how Christy brought this up and how minimalism can really help to reduce the amount of mental stress that we have. By leading a simpler, more minimalist lifestyle, I also have been able to decrease my stress and increase my time, and that has been such a gift.
Hey everyone, this is Mandy from Among All of This on Instagram. The way that minimalism has impacted motherhood for me is that it's allowed me to be more connected and present with my family. And that's because I feel like I have more control over the things in our home, and also the mess that comes with having kids and family life. It doesn't stress me out anymore.
I love what Mandy shared about having more connection and more ability to be present. We've all heard that with children, quality time is more important than quantity of time, but quality time can be really difficult, especially for me as a mom. I feel like when there is clutter everywhere and a list of things needing to be done, it's really hard for me to be present in the moment and, like sit down and do something with my children when that list is just in my head and I'm just waiting to be finished with the activity so that I can get back to what I feel like I need to be doing. By minimizing and simplifying our homes and our spaces, our to-do lists and our calendars, it truly does allow for more connection and the ability to be present in those quality time moments. Let's hear from Emily about her journey as a minimalist.
Hi, I'm Emily, and back in 2014, my husband and I were struggling with infertility, and I knew that I was completely overwhelmed and wanted to make room in my life so that I would hopefully be able to be what I had always wanted to be, a mom. But unfortunately, I was overwhelmed by all the stuff in my home, all the to-dos in my calendar, and everything going on in my head during this difficult time. It was then that I discovered minimalism, and slowly but surely, I was able to let go of all of the things that weren't serving me. Luckily, my husband and I were able to conceive via IVF, and since then, minimalism has served me in every season of my motherhood. Now, my boys are almost 6 and 4, and I've been able to simplify not only my home, but also my routines, my schedule, and all of the things that have allowed me to have my mental health back. So I really owe minimalism so much for really shaping my motherhood and helping me to become a more calm, peaceful, and joyful person. Thanks.
I absolutely love what Emily shared about peace and mental health through simplifying. Motherhood is one of the hardest things that I've ever done, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to how overwhelming it can be. Our mental health as humans, but also as mothers who are trying to raise up and nurture the next generation, is so vital. I think it's amazing that Emily has found a way to do this through simplifying her life, and I definitely agree that since decluttering and pursuing a more minimalist lifestyle, that a lot of the stress and the overwhelm has massively decreased, and I've been able to be more at peace.
Becoming a minimalist mom has really changed the atmosphere of our home. There's more peace because it's easier to clean. We're less stressed about stuff because we don't really have that much stuff. And so for us, the biggest benefit is that we have been able to serve our community better with hospitality. We're more readily available to invite people into our home because it's not as hard to clean. And I have 3 young boys, all under the age of 6. And for them, I think it's more fun to invite people over because they're not stressed about sharing their toys or stressed about someone breaking their toys. Instead, because they only have several more imaginative type toys anyway, it's more fun to have people come over because you get more imaginations and you see kids doing things different ways. And so I think having a space to be able to invite people into our home is what really has made becoming a minimalist the best.
I love what Jo shared about how minimalism has not only benefited her as a mother and not only her children and her family, but also has enabled them to give back to the community. Simplifying our lives doesn't affect just us. All of these things, decluttering, slowing down, taking care of ourselves and our mental health, being more mindful about what we bring into our homes, all of these small but steady lifestyle changes can positively affect the world around us. We will be happier, healthier as moms. Our children will be happier and healthier and more ready and able to learn. Our homes can become more peaceful and be places that we could actually envision inviting other people in. For me personally, my minimalism journey started when I had my second daughter, and I was beginning to feel very overwhelmed in my motherhood. I felt like I could never keep on top of the things that needed to be done, and I wanted to be there and be present for these children, but I felt like I was failing because my house was never caught up. Eventually, I came to the realization that in order to even be able to tackle these things that were overwhelming to me, I needed to be in a healthy place first. So I began looking into some different self-care methods so that I could try to take better care of myself so that I would then have the energy to be taking care of my family. That's when I first learned about hygge and the art of coziness, and that's when I heard about minimalism. I realized that it wasn't that I was necessarily a failure because I cleaned and I organized all of the time. It was simply that we had too much stuff in our small space. Most of the stuff we had was stuff that was just sitting there, never ever being used. I really didn't even care about it. I didn't notice once it was gone. I didn't need it for any purpose, and it was just in our space. By decluttering and continually trying to be mindful about what we bring into our home and what we allow to come into our lives and be in our schedule, I've definitely been able to make my life much less overwhelming. It's much easier to clean up, and I've never missed the clutter that we let go of. It is a continual journey because as children grow, more things come into your lives and seasons change, and so there are things that you will be continuing to need to let go of as you make way for new older children's seasons. But minimalism is truly about that mindset shift, changing your perspective and prioritizing the things in your life that bring you joy, while simultaneously letting go of the things that are unnecessary. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing all of these different perspectives today. Please go and give all of these wonderful ladies a follow on Instagram. I'm so thankful to them for participating in today's video. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and then just comment down below when you subscribe. If you actually hit the little bell button when you subscribe, you'll be able to receive notifications every time I upload a new video so that you won't miss out on any of my awesome free content. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to all of our lovely guest speakers today, and I will see you very soon in my next video.
You try to remember all the good things that your mama told you. It turns around, you see, it takes time, but you just can't.